attitude, effort. Control what you control. See depth.
Welcome to Keep It 100, Coach Jones Show. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
I got three outstanding guests this morning. I got the TCU commit, LaDanian Fields.
Yep.
I got Rodney, the Oklahoma State commit. And I got my man, outstanding linebacker that's going to lead the defense this year, Mr. Aaron Carter. Is everybody ready for this Friday night?
Yes, sir.
That's good, that's good. Well, guys, glad you guys can, kick off the season, Coach Jones Show. You guys come in, from Southeast. You come over to Del City, a new environment, new look. Got a chance to do some big things this year. I know Coach Jones is excited about having you guys. So tell me what's it been like coming to Del City so far. We'll start with you, Mr. Fields.
It's been great. As soon as I came in, they welcomed me with open arms, treat me like a brotherhood, got me into the CW mentality.
Yes, sir.
Just working hard. It's been great.
Well, Fields, I know you come in, Rodney, you come in as a outstanding running back, already committed to Oklahoma State. You've done some amazing thing when you was at Southeast, but now you get to bring your talents over to Del City. You're going to play in some big ball games. This Friday night, you guys will open up against Choctaw over there at their field. So what's it feel like to you, getting to play Choctaw for the first time, coming from, Southeast to Del City? What's going to be like?
I feel the same way, as every game I play, just do whatever I need to do. So whatever I do out there in Choctaw, this is what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Aaron, you've been on the show before. We welcome you back. I know this is your senior year. You play both sides of the ball, but when you do your damage at is on defense, playing a linebacker. Coming into your senior year, what kind of goals have you set for yourself?
My goal is get more sacks, and lead the defense. I'm the middle linebacker, that's what I got to do, so I'm trying to do better at that.
Well, that's good, man. Coach Jones, you come in with three outstanding players right here. I know we'll talk to River Warren a little bit later, but Coach, what has these guys meant to you? Their senior year, you're coming into your third year, sitting at 18-5, winning the district championship. Last 2 years, you've kind of come up short in your demeanor, but as a head coach, man, like I said, you're sitting at 18-5. Del City hasn't won a championship since 1976. And I know you got a good chance to do it this year. What's it been like having these young men come in and like having Aaron Carter, play with you for the last 3 years? What's it been like for you to have these guys come in though?
Well, first thing, y'all got to speak up. They got to hear y'all on the camera, so y'all speak up. First thing, my role as a head coach, my role as a mentor is to first take care of the person.
Yes, sir.
So if we have a kid move in or we have a kid come as a freshman, we want to get them involved with the character development. And that's what I'm working on. And we focus, one day at a time, one workout at a time. We haven't really spoke about Choctaw that much. We really don't speak a lot about our opponents.
Yes,
what we speak about is what we got to do daily. Go to school, do your classwork, be respectful to your teachers, take care of your business at home. When you come to practice, have great energy, have great effort, have a great attitude. And with the talent that we have, regardless of who we're playing, I think that we'll be okay if we take care of the character development, we take care of our attitude, we don't get jealous. When you have a lot of talent as we have, jealousy can kick in.
Yes,
People can get, start hating on their teammates and start, I didn't get the ball, or he's getting this interview, or he has that offer. So you have to be able to maintain a brotherhood that you want your brother to succeed. You want your brother to have some success. So it's been a real good summer for us. It's been Summer Pride was great because we stepped it up a notch this year. We knew last year we didn't win, or we didn't get to our goal. So anytime you don't get to your goal, you have to do something different. You have to make some changes, and we really stepped it up on our conditioning. We really stepped it on really pushing them in areas that could really help them develop mental toughness as well, and they've been doing a great job. We had a great week of practice this week. Everybody's doing well in the classroom. I've been getting emails that are very positive about what kids are doing in the classroom. Sometimes as a coach you get the negative emails, but I've been getting a lot of positive emails. As far as the move-ins, this isn't the first time Del City has had kids move in. Whenever they move in, when they become an Eagle, they're an Eagle. So these guys are bought into us, bought into the program, bought into the CW mentality, and their talent is really extraordinary, excellent. And the thing I love about them, they don't talk a lot. You don't see them on Twitter posting all the things they're doing. You just see them coming in with their, with their working mentality on a daily basis. I'm excited to see what they're going to do this year.
Well, Coach, LaDanian comes in, he comes over from Southeast. He didn't have no offers. he comes over to Dell City and he works hard. Comes in last spring, and you can see what he did over the summer, going to camps, and he just took off. So, David, tell me, what did you do to change your game? Because, like I said, you didn't have no offers, and over the summer, man, it just blew up, man. I mean, you was like Denny's with hotcakes, man. I mean, you started getting offers left and right. So, what did you do to kind of get people to notice you?
Well, first off, I can't do nothing without Coach Jones.
Yes,
As soon as
sir.
I
Yes,
got
sir.
here, he told me we was gonna work. So as soon as first day one, we started working hard. I just worked hard, grind. He told me keep my head up, it's gonna come. I was getting doubted. I used to be doubting myself and stuff, cause I seen everybody else getting offers and stuff. So he just told me keep your head on, keep straight. You'll get them. Don't worry about it. And then we just kept working, and God's plan.
I mean, that thing is, man, you started off with some little small schools, D1 schools, then next thing you know, you got TCU knocking on the door. You went down to TCU camp and showed out and let people know who you're all about. And not ever just on the football field, you're a hell of a basketball player, too. I mean, I got to watch you play in the Bishop McGinnis tournament last year and did some amazing things. But just to see your game grow, man, and one thing, letting the youngsters and people know, man, don't get down on yourself because you haven't got that offer yet. But what you did, man, is like I said, you grind and you came over here. And it's funny because the same thing you did at Southeast, you haven't even done at Dell City yet.
Yes,
so,
sir.
And then having River be able to throw you the ball, and I know you had a good quarterback last year and MJ, but, I mean, having River be able to throw you the ball this year, and I know what you guys did in team camp was just amazing. So I'm looking forward to see you play this Friday night against Choctaw. I'll tell you right now, they're going to have their hands full with all you guys, man. I'm telling you, trying to start, Rodney in the backfield, trying to contain, Carter, my linebacker, trying to stop all you guys is going to be really, really tough. But I tell you what I'm really excited to see is, like Coach said, none of you guys have a chip on your shoulder saying, I'm better than the next guy. And that's what it's all about. And that's one thing Coach Jones do. He brings that brotherhood because I had Dama on earlier this year, and he comes on and he gets moved. He's touted as one of the top running backs in the state.
Yes, sir.
Guess what? Rodney comes over, and guess what? He says, you know what, Coach? I'm going to move over to slot. I'm going to help the team win. And that's what it's all about, trying to win a state championship. It's not about what I'm going to do. It's about what the team's going to do. And I think it's one of you guys up here, and I think that's what you guys are all about. But, Coach, let's talk to Rodney real big, because he comes in as the Oklahoma State commander. I got to ask you, I know you're sitting next to an Oklahoma State guy. Did he kind of influence you a little bit? I mean, just a little bit, hey, man. Go wear that orange and black because, I'm excited to see you. I've heard a lot of good things about you. Never got to see you in person, but this Friday night I will. So, what did you do to kind of get yourself out there to, get your motto to say, hey, man, I'm one of the best running backs in the state? What did you do to work on that?
I had to work hard in whatever I do. I know there's plenty running backs in the world that's probably doing the same thing I'm doing, so I'm going to have to do more. And then
So what made you pick Oklahoma State, though?
it was my dad's school.
That's good.
And then the coaches, the atmosphere was just great. I went up there for a couple visits, and I liked it.
Yeah, that's big time. Well, Aaron, I know, this is going into your last year. You're playing that defense. I know you ran the ball last year. I know I got to watch you run in the snow last year, and you had one of the best damn games you could have in the snow, man. I mean, you showed out and showed everybody, hey, I can run the ball, but I know you like hitting instead of getting hit. What's some of the goals you guys set this year as far as, like, tackles and sacks? And, at the end of the year, what do you guys want to be at?
At the end of the year, we all want to be at the state championship. I'm ready to go get it with my brothers.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I know you guys got a long season. I know it's one game at a time. This Friday night you take on Choctaw, a team that's pretty good in 6A small. Is getting a lot of pub about winning the state championship. They've been there the last 2 out of 3 years. It's a good opening set. I know, Aaron, you played in that game last year. I know the two fields, you guys didn't, but I mean, going over to, they call it Death Valley, I think is what they call it now. The new stadium, the new look. Going into their house. It's going to be a tough game, but one thing I got to tell you guys, you got to keep your composure because at the end of the day, they think that, hey, they're the better team, but, on paper, you guys are the team that should win the ball game. So it's going to take each one of you guys to go out and play a great game. But, Coach Jones, what's kind of the game plans you set up for this week, going into Choctaw? A guy that you know very well, Coach Corbin, that, you've coached with. Both guys are under Coach Rose. So what's some of the things you're telling the guys this week that we got to do to keep our composure?
Well, at first, it starts in practice.
Yes, sir.
You know, we have to have great energy. We have to control our attitude. We have to control our effort. We can't control what Choctaw's doing right now. We can't control how they practice and what they're doing. We got to control our attitude and our effort and the schemes that we're implementing on a daily basis. We just have to be able to make sure our kids understand what they're doing. We have to make sure they're getting aligned correctly. We have to make sure they're communicating. And we're always going to utilize our speed on both sides of the ball. So everybody knows the speed that we have and the athleticism that comes with Dale City. So we feel like if our kids can know their assignments,
Yes, sir.
And they can communicate and they can be selfless, and like on offense, it doesn't matter who gets the ball. Are we moving the ball? Are we having success? Is River being able to spread it around? Is Rodney being able to have the running lanes that he needs? Defensively, we're always going to play tight coverage. We're going to mix it up with some zone and some man, and then we're going to get after the quarterback. That's who we are. We're not going to change regardless of who we play. So I'm excited to see what these guys are going to do Friday as we implement these plans. It changes from day to day, and we have to be able to control ourselves in this atmosphere because it'll be a pretty good atmosphere. We got the fourth game of the week on Cox, I believe. And we just got to go out there and control what we can control, and that's our attitude and effort, and that doesn't change on game day. You can't put on a special cape and try to change it up on game day. You do what you do on a daily basis. If we do that, I feel like we'll be successful, and I feel like we'll like the outcome of the game.
Yeah. Well, David, like I said, you play both sides of the ball. You play receiver. You play DB. What do you plan on playing in college?
Corner.
Corner. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like, man, because I know you're a hell of a receiver, though, man. I mean, some of the numbers you put up I think Coach Jones sent me some film of you, man. I think you had 5 touchdowns in one game. So that just tells you right there that, hey, are you planning on going to TCU trying to play next year, or you want a red shirt, or what's your game plan on that?
I want to play next year, but it's whatever they want me to do. I'm going to do whatever they want me to do.
But Rodney, like I said, I know you're going to Oklahoma State, man. A team that always have great running backs. I know you're going to go compete for a starting job next year. Are you excited to ready to go to the next level?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
That's good. Aaron, I know you got some looks coming in, man, and I tell Coach all the time, I think you're one of the most underrated guys in the state of Oklahoma. Each show I talk about you. I don't know if you watch a lot of the shows, but I tell people all the time, you're a young man. I remember sitting next to you last year. You're a grown man among grown men. You're a big man, so I don't know what people's missing out on you, but I think this Friday night you can kind of start open a lot more eyes and let them know that, hey, I'm for real. I can go play at the next level, any Division I, small division or Division II, but whoever gets you is going to get a hell of a player. So I look forward to all you guys doing great things this Friday night. Before I let you go, you guys are Xbox guys, PlayStation, what are y'all?
I'm on Xbox.
Xbox, you got Madden yet?
Yeah,
Who you playing with?
I'm gonna get the Jets.
That's what I've been playing with the Jets. I tell you, you can't. The Jets. What about you, Rodney? Who's your team? You play the box?
No, I don't got no favorite team. I play PlayStation though.
Who
I
you?
don't got no favorite team though.
Oh, you just play with a little bit everybody?
Anybody.
What about you, LaDanian? Who you got?
I play on PlayStation. I use the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie, Seattle pretty tough. But folks, I tell you right now, man, I'm looking forward to this team this year, man. I think Coach Jones can do some major things. I know everybody wants the game. At the end of the year, they want Carl Albert versus Dale City, but you got to go take care of business before you can get there. The last 2 years, Coach Jones been right there in the driver's seat. I tell him all the time. We talk pretty much daily, and I tell him all the time, if you go take care of district, you won't have to see those guys into the finals. And both teams got to take care of district, and everybody got to stay healthy. And the most important thing, Coach Jones said it earlier, you got to stay good in the classroom because, and you guys have been watching the show too. I just got you watching that Florida, the swamp deal, and you look at how much talent they had. But each year, that pressure gets tougher and tougher that you got to win. And if you guys do lose a game, it ain't the end of the world. You got to say, pick up and let's get started for the next week because at the end of the day, somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, but it all starts with you guys right here. That's why we have you on this show this morning to get you guys, to get football kicked off at Dale City. So tell me a little bit about, the C-Dub, yeah.
Well, when I first started coaching, I kind of started, especially from my experience as a player, I felt like coaches were always, talking to kids about Division I, talking to kids about getting scholarship, if it's Division I, Division II, JUCO, or whatever it is. But I felt like it wasn't enough character talk as I was growing up in the game. And character is what's going to be able to, the character traits that you have, that's going to sustain you through life. Not football. Football is going to end for everyone. So I feel like if you can have great character and you treat others right, I just feel like you're going to be a better football player. So I really think CDEP brings a mentality to the kids and helps them understand that these character traits will be able to not only help you be a great football player, but help you be a great employee, help you be a great son, a great father, a great husband. So, the first word is commitment. They have to understand you got to be committed to whatever process it is. If it's a football player, you're committed to that. If it's in a classroom, you're committed to that. You're an all-around committed person. And once you realize you're committed, you have to continue to be disciplined. You got to be disciplined on a daily basis and be consistent, not just when you feel like it, not just when you're in a good mood, but you got to be disciplined on every day. And then once you get that, you're committed and you're disciplined, you got to continue to give that effort on a consistent basis, on a daily basis, and give the effort to your teammates and to your family that they deserve. Everybody loves each other, so if everybody's giving the effort that is required on a daily basis, then we can all be successful. Yes, and then once you do that, you start to develop some pride in yourself. Once you have that pride, then you start doing things right because you understand, I am an eagle. I was raised right. I do need to pull my pants up. I do need to be respectful. I do need to turn my assignments in on time. And then once you do all those things, you become a tough person. Being tough is not walking around here with your pants off and gang banging and doing those things. Being tough is going to class on time, turning in your assignments on time, being able to be coachable, not get your butt hurt if a coach coaches you hard and not taking it the wrong way. Being tough is, yes, sir, looking your coach in the eyes or looking your teacher in the eyes or your parents and your elders. We have to get back to guys respecting the elders, looking them in the eyes and saying, yes, sir, and not taking it personal. So CDEP is a mentality that I think is not only going to sustain them through the Dell City program, but I think it'll carry on to life as well as they continue to be grown men and getting to the next level of life.
Well, Coach, before we close this up, I know this week has been a record set in Oklahoma, about 100 degrees each day. Friday night's supposed to be 105. As you look at it, guys are going to cramp up, guys are going to get tired. What have you done this week to prepare these guys for the heat? Because you can't. You don't know nothing about it. You got to go play in the game. But I know you've been at the at the next level playing on a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon at 2:30 at Oklahoma State. Been 100 degrees, crowd is going crazy. But what have you told these guys this week to get ready for the game? How have you prepared?
Well, preparing for a week like this in the heat, it doesn't start in 1 week. It starts in June when we started Summer Pride. We go a little later than most people. So when we start our conditioning, it's usually like 10:30, 11. So we've been running in the heat for 2 months. So that's when it starts. And then you have to continue to educate them on hydrating. And everybody, when you think hydration, they think you're just drinking water or Gatorade or pee. No, that's the nutrition that you have as well. So you have to make sure you're eating quality 3 meals a day. You have to make sure you're getting quality sleep. You have to make sure you're getting your own time by yourself, because that's important. Mental time by yourself is important as well as taking care of your body. So we are hydrating. We're taking care of our bodies. We're resting. We're stretching more. I implemented some stretching routines that I think is going to really help us out. But our conditioning is going to be where it needs to be because we started in June. We actually started in track season. So we're a real old machine. We don't let the heat bother us. We can't control what temperature is going to be, but all we can control is that we've been running, we've been taking care of business, and I think that everybody see that we're a well-oiled machine and we're conditioned. The heat's not going to matter. Just like in the playoffs, we didn't know that it was going to be snowing, and you can't control the weather. All you can control is what you're going to do on that assignment, and you're taking care of business versus that person across the line for you.
Well, Coach, that's you're hitting it right on the point, man. Like I said, I know you're going to have these guys ready for Friday night. And guys, like I said, I think you guys are coming on the show. Keep 100 Coach Jones show. We do this weekly. We'll have players on, players of the week. But I think it starts with you guys right here setting the tone and letting everybody know what Dell City football is all about. Like I said, I'm excited to watch, Rodney, and I'm excited to watch LaDanian do their thing this Friday night. I know what Aaron can do. I know he'll knock a couple people out, have a couple sacks. I know both quarterbacks over at Choctaw know about you. I know they got you circled saying, block this young man. But, Coach, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back after one of our sponsors.
With 25 years experience in the industry, Linex Customs OKC is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle accessory needs. Specializing in spray-in liners, lifts, levels, wheels, tires, bed covers, and anything else you need to make your ride look and sound better. Call Eric and the boys at 405-778-8878.
Welcome back to Keep It 100 Coach Jones Show. How you doing this morning, Mr. River Warren?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad, man. It's good to have you on this morning, man. The blue chip quarterback. I tell you, you've been the talk of the town. I know when you first came over to Dell City, Coach Jones, you had thought he had Christmas in July, grabbing you. So what's it been like coming to Dell City? You come from Bishop Beginners, a team that I watched you play. You know, watched you bring them back against Guthrie last year, and you know, me over there doing the show, watching it. I'm sitting there saying, man, this guy's a player. So what's it been like coming to Del City though with some of the weapons you have?
The transition's been great. The guys, I've really bonded with them, and it's just been great coming over and getting to meet the guys and kind of learn how to lead with them and learn what ways they get pushed and how to push them.
So, you know, you come over from, like I said, Bishop McGinnis, a great football program. You come over to Del City with Coach Jones, a hard-nosed coach, man. He's going to push you. He's going to get in your face. He's gonna make you work harder than probably any other coach you've probably had so far. But one thing about it, he gets you ready for college. So I know you got some schools looking at you. What are some of the schools that are looking at you?
Yeah, so right now, Arkansas State, Toledo, Marshall, Bowling Green, Old Dominion, FAU. Might be missing one or two, but
That's all right.
yeah.
But I see, you know, over the summer you go to, is it California you go and train?
Yes, sir.
What's that like, you know, because I saw your video you had posted a couple of weeks ago, man, and my brother don't know who you are, and he sends me this text, and he goes, this kid's the real deal. So what's it like when you go train in California?
Yeah, so I have a really good relationship with my quarterback coach, Danny Hernandez, and I try to get up there once a month to train with him, and he comes down here sometimes, and so I try to just get up there once a month, but he gets me right. He's the real deal. So
That's good. That's good. Well, Coach Jones, like I said, you got your early Christmas present
sir.
in July with with River Warren coming over to Del City, bringing his talents here. As you can see in the game, man, you know, kids are coming in and going. It's kind of like college now. You know,
Yes, sir.
they're going to different places. Carl Albert had a kid move in from Plano,
Texas.
you know, from Texas.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, you got two great quarterbacks in 5A. You know, I know everybody wants to see the at the end of the year they want to see the gun show with River versus Sperry, but you know you got to take care of business one game at a time. But you know, like I said, what's it been like having River here as your leader right now?
Well, you know, it's forever changed my coaching career, in my opinion. I've had great quarterbacks here, but I haven't had a quarterback that led by actions as much as he had. He came in and, you know, he didn't do a lot of talking. He didn't do, you know, he wasn't a prima donna. He didn't think he was better than everybody. He came in and he had a worker's mentality. He gained their respect by how he worked. You know, they saw his work ethic. They saw how he wasn't scared to be vocal, and they latched onto him. You know, and I think that was important, you know, because anytime you have someone come in a quarterback, and especially when you had some younger quarterbacks that thought they were going to be the man, it can always create some controversy.
Yes, sir.
But the controversy was destroyed and eliminated by his work ethic and the way he showed himself, the way he carried himself on a daily basis. So he was consistent with the work ethic. He was consistent with being vocal. He stays and watches film with the linemen. He stays and throws with the receivers and running backs. So he earned their respect the good old-fashioned way through hard work, being honest, and being a great leader. And not only talking about it, but being about it. So his actions really demonstrated what kind of leader he was, and the kids really latched onto him.
That's good stuff.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, Rivers, you know, you come over here, like I said, you know, you leave McGinnis, but then you come to Del City. I know there's some other schools that wanted you to come join their program. What was your big, decision factor to come to Del City?
yeah, you know, it was a tough decision to start. You know, leaving my brothers over there and all the great coaches over there.
Yes, sir.
It was tough, but ultimately I just thought that Del City was the best spot for me, and you know, it's been great. So
It don't hurt having a Oklahoma State commit in the backfield
No,
and LaDavian
no.
Thomas
No.
and then Brandon Adama. So I tell you, man, I told Jones, you know, like I said, we pretty much talk at least every day or every other day, or we talk on the weekends. And you know, and I sat here and told him, I said, man, this young man, when he told me he had got you, and like I said, watching you play, I watched you play against Carl, I watched you play against Bishop McGinnis, and I said, man, Coach, you got a guy that can probably throw for 3,000 to 4,000 yards this year. I don't know what you do for last year, but I said, man, the kid is a baller. And I watched you play against Guthrie last year, and you led him back, and you made some amazing passes, and that's what it's. And I tell Coach, you know, everybody wants to win a state championship. I know you want to win a state championship. It's your senior year, but the weapons you have, I think right now, if you looked at it, you know, on paper, yes, Del City and Colorado are the two best teams, but I think what Del City got, and a guy like you that's played the game before, you know, that's been in big ball games, has been in the playoffs last year. So, and what's it going to take, you think, for get you guys to get that gold ball, though?
It's going to take us taking every day one day at a time and just grinding every day. And I mean, we can look at it now and say gold ball, but last year, I mean, the team that won it, they started off 0-2. So it's like, no matter how we start, we gotta keep getting better every day.
Yes, sir.
So.
That's it. That's it. Rivers, like I said, you do a lot of training. Do you get back to some of the younger quarterbacks that's under you that's backing you up? Do you kind of teach them some things, show them some things? Because I watch Hard Knocks. I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan, and I'm kind of watching what he's done with the Jets backup quarterback Wilson. Giving him tips, and as you can see, Wilson's game this year for the Jets in preseason has been pretty good. Are you giving back to these younger guys?
Yeah, for sure. My freshman year, I played under a really good quarterback who was a senior at the time, so I kind of got to learn from him.
Yes, sir.
And learn how to kind of teach back to some of the younger guys. So I'm trying to take what I learned that year and kind of give it back to the guys here.
That's good stuff. River, like I said, you travel to California, you come to Oklahoma. So what do you do on your spare time? What's your favorite food? Are you in a video game? Are you going to the movies? You're a good-looking young man, kind of look like sunshine up here. You got your little girlfriend. What's the Rivers world like on the weekend?
On the weekend, mostly I'm just chilling, but I like to eat food. So
what's your favorite food, man? 'Cause, you over here in Dell City now, man. This ain't Bishop McGinnis, man. We got some
chicken.
I love chicken.
Yeah, you like some fried what? Come on now. There's different fried chickens. Are you talking about Churches? Are you talking about Popeyes? Are you talking about, what are you talking about? What's the Colonel's name?
KFC.
KFC. What are you talking about now?
Definitely all the ones you named, KFC.
Oh, come on. Hey, chicken, man. Come on, man. You got to go get you some of that greasy chicken down there at Churches. And now you be ready for Dell City. You part of Dell City.
Yeah.
You get some. Hey, Coach, I want you to take him down.
Yeah.
Before the game, don't do Friday. That's maybe Thursday. Pre-game, give him some of that Church's chicken. I want your hands to be greasy, bro. You hear me? I want your hands to be greasy.
I won't be able to throw the ball.
We're gonna do it on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do it on Thursday. No, but that's good
Grease
stuff though.
lasts.
Huh?
So that grease lasts overnight, I swear.
Well, man, you get you some of that good dial soap, you be good to go. Now just having fun with you though, but that's good stuff though. But what's it been like? Has the guys accepted you though, man? Because like I said, it's a big different culture value being at Bishop McGinnis and being here at Dell City, man. I understand. I know my kids left one school, they went to another school. It was totally different culture. But I see all these guys watching them. When you walked in the room this morning, you could just see that, hey, man, they gel with you. So what's it been like, you guys coming together, though?
Yeah, it's definitely a different culture, but I feel like there's a different culture at every school that you go to. So no matter if that's, you go in there and start day one, or if you're a guy who doesn't start day one, the culture is always going to be different. Doesn't matter who you are or what that's about. But it's been great with these guys and kind of just learning the different ways of how a team operates.
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes, sir.
the kids at the end of the day, it's always going to be kind of similar. You get to know them. It's kind of going to become brotherhood. But the way that the program's operated is what's kind of different. And both programs had a great way of operating the program. That's why it's so successful. So.
Well, Coach Jones, man, like I said, man, you got your outstanding spoken young man. He's saying all the right things, man. But the thing is, you can look at it. He's older than what his age is. As far as you could tell, he studies a lot of film. You could tell he knows what's going on. So not only having River as your quarterback, here at Dell City, but having him on the field as like another coach.
Yes, sir.
I know that takes a lot of pressure off your offensive coordinator and
absolutely.
yourself too. So what's it been like, since you've had him though?
Well, it's a reason why in the NFL they're making so much money. It's the reason why in college the quarterbacks have usually the bigger NIL deals,
Yes,
and
sir.
they usually win the Heisman Trophy. The quarterback position is so important because it is another coach on the field.
Yes, sir.
It is a leader, and the kids do look up to him as another coach. Like I mentioned earlier, Rivers' work ethic is what I'm so impressed with. How he watches film, how he comes and he's offering advice on plays that we can implement, on plays that we can fix because of the coverages and the blocking schemes that we have in the route running. So when you have a coach on the field, it's going to play great dividends out there Friday, because we all know I can't go out there and play.
No,
Regardless of how great of a coach I am, Coach McGuire, Coach Kelly, and our coaching staff, we can't go out there and play football. They're going to be out there by themselves. They're going to be isolated in pressure moments. And I feel comfortable with River because the work ethic and the preparation that he puts in before the game. Because we can't turn on the switch Friday. The switch is turned on Monday through Thursday. He's been having that switched on since he got here. So I'm confident in the ability that he has athletically, but I'm also confident in his mental aspect and what he brings to the table on knowing the schemes and knowing our offense and knowing the players. He knows every player. He handles each player differently. But that's what I love about him. He might handle Rodney differently. He handles LaDanian or Aaron or Kadarius Palmer or the many talents that we have. He has a relationship and he handles each kid differently. So that's very impressive. But to be able to go out there this Friday and have a coach on the field, someone who understands coverages, someone who understands how we need to operate, someone who understands the position is going to be great. And that's not a knock to the quarterbacks we had in the past, but our quarterbacks in the past didn't have experience. They were first-year starters. So anytime you have a kid that has started 2 years in high school and had the experience that he has, he's going to be at a different level than those guys just because of experience. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I'm excited to see him lead our team this Friday.
That's big time. But Rick, before we close this up, man, I know this Friday night you take on the Choctaw Yellow Jackets, a team that's got a lot of returning starters on defense, got a good defensive end, Will Smith, a guy that come at you. They got a great linebacker. So what's it going to be like? I know you watched some film on them. What's some of the things you think you guys can do against them to score?
Yeah, I mean, starts on the ground. I mean, we have to establish a run game on any team we play. And then I think when the shots are available, we can take the shots. Hopefully we connect on that. And, you know, our game plan is probably going to be similar to most teams we face. It's just get our run game going and then kind of opens up the pass game.
And that's the thing about it. You can run the ball too, though, right? You're not just a drop back passer. You can get out there and scoot a little bit yourself, though. I've seen that. Did you get downfield? Can you punt? Can you kick field goals? What? Can you do it all or what?
I cannot punt. I cannot kick field goals. Do not try to make me do any of that because we did a little thing like my sophomore year. It was like the quarterback punt. That ball went like 5 yards backwards, I swear.
So your stats on punt wasn't very good.
No.
So what did you do last year? What was your stats? Because I don't have them in front of me. But what was your stats last year that you threw for a touchdown?
I don't know the exact number, but I think it was right under 3,000 yards passing, and then I think like 35 or 36 touchdowns.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know last year you had the little number 2. I think that was your hot receiver.
Tyrell Bruner.
Yeah. Like I said, watching you throw the ball to him, but I'm telling you right now, you threw for 3,000, and I know you got. And I'm not bragging because me and Coach Jones are friends, but you got more weapons than Tyrell Bruner here. So I'm really excited to see what the numbers you put up this year. It's going to be like, what do you call it, the Xbox, but, you're just putting up 50, 60 touchdowns. I mean, and that's me talking, folks, because I've been around the program for a few years, and I know what Coach Jones can do. And like I said, having a quarterback, you're probably the hottest thing since Terry Wilson was here. I know they had Quinlan here, and he did really well. But, a guy that, like he said, that comes in, has had 2 years starting. Plus, you've already played in big ball games that you have that experience. It's not like when the lights come on for this Friday night, you're going to be like, oh, man, shell shock. You're going to be ready to go. So, River, man, like I said, I'm glad you got to come on the show. I'm glad I got a chance to meet you. I'm a big fan of yours. I think you come from a great family. Like I said, really good friends with your, I guess Chris Crawford is your cousin. Like I said, his daughter played with my daughter. So, we get a chance to talk about you. And like I said, I know your dad's a great person. And I know you adapted really well to Dell City and their atmosphere. And I know people probably ask you all the time, what's it like? And something that you said is really important that, it's funny because you're going to go to college. And when you go to college, it might be a dominant black team or a white team. So I think that's good for kids to get that because, I was watching, the Swamp Show with the Gators, and one of the players said, man, I was at a school, but there was no white guys. And then he goes to, Florida, and it's a white school, black players. And so I think it's good for kids to get that environment, to get to see that because, think about it. If you never played with an African-American kid or an Hispanic kid, what's it like the first time? And I think this is going to help you moving forward, going off to college, that you're going to do big things. So I'm looking for whoever gets you as a QB, man. Folks, you're missing out. This guy can play, man. I'm telling you. Friday nights, come check him out. River Warren, the blue chip quarterback. I said Coach Jones got his gift early in July, having him come over. I said I'm looking forward to what he can do this year in the team. So good luck to you, River, and go take care of business this Friday night.
Thank you.
You tired of going out to your trash can, having to smell so bad? Well, no further. Call Spiffy Cans. He cleans, disinfects, sanitize. 405-423-8824 or go to spiffycansok.com. Spiffy Cans, he's your man.
Spiffy Can, he's your man.
Welcome back to Keep It 100 Coach Jones Show. Like I said, folks, we just had River Warren on. We had LaDanian on. We had Rodney and Aaron Carter, the outstanding linebacker. And why I say the outstanding linebacker, because I tell you, this man is really underrated in the state of Oklahoma as a football player, man. He's one of the best players in the state. I know he ain't got the offers he's looking for yet, but he will. But, Coach, like I said, man, I know you're excited about going into this Friday night, going into your third year. Like I said, you're sitting at what's your record?
18-5.
18-5, Coach. I mean, as a head coach, some people don't get 18 wins at all. You know, and here you are in your third year. You won a district championship. You finished second last year in district at a tough district. You lost 3 ball games, a total of probably 15 points at that. I know this year you're looking for bigger and better things. But, you know, Coach Jones, like I said, you got a lot coming back on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. You know, what's it been like, you know, going from spring ball into, you know, this Friday night you open up the season?
Well, you know, it starts in the spring. You know, it starts in the spring when we got those move-ins. You know, River came in March.
Yes, sir.
And LaDanian as well. And Rodney came in this April. And then when you mesh those guys in with the talent that we already had, prior to them coming, we felt like we had a team that could compete for a state title, compete for a district title. So when you add that kind of talent, obviously it's going to enhance you to a level that you're going to be one of the top teams in the state. So we've been, you know, the kids can feel that, just to be honest and transparent. They can feel the talent that we have. They can see it. They can feel it. They understand that if we can all mesh together, like I said earlier, not get jealous, not share the shine. It's enough for everybody to eat. It's enough for everybody to get opportunities in college through the game of football. So it's been great. The spring went great. You know, we had a great track season. We had a great summer pride, and this camp has been real great because our kids are holding themselves accountable. And, you know, this is my third year, so I'm getting more comfortable in the leadership role as a head coach and athletic director. And I also won't be calling the defense this year, so it'll allow me to be able to manage the game better. Because I felt like last year at times that, you know, when I hear people speak about this with Brent Venables, it's tough to call the defense and manage the game.
Yes, sir.
One bad call timeout could be the difference in the game. Not being able to focus on special teams and offense because you're dedicating so much to the defensive side can change things too. So I think with my experience as a head coach, me not calling the defense and getting back to the game management part of it, I think we're going to really see a team that is more enhanced, more developed as far as just understanding the game of football. And the most important thing that I've been impressed with at camp is how they're holding each other accountable.
Yes, sir.
I don't have to, if we have a bad practice, I don't have to be the bad guy that I was here the last 2 years, 6 years previously. The captains handle that. You know, the captains make sure we have energy. They make sure we have a great attitude. And I'm excited to see it come all together Friday. I'm excited to see us mesh. And regardless of what happens, the outcome, like we said, we're not worried about winning a state championship in one game. We understand that it takes time in the process of it. So I'm excited to see these kids come together and have fun because it's all about having fun as well. And I think this team does that, and that's what I'm so excited about as well. They have fun, man. They love the game of football. And, you know, a lot of people have been talking about us. A lot of people have been putting pressure on these kids, but you would have never known by the daily conversations I hear them have, the daily interaction that they have with one another. They're just having fun and playing football. They're high school kids. So I'm excited to see it come together Friday.
That's big time. You know, you talk about guys, you know, not having a chip on the shoulder and getting moved around. One of the guys you got to talk about that's, you know, that took it with pride is Braylon Adama. You know, he was ranked in the Vibe magazine top 3 running back in the state.
Yes.
And he moves over to slot receiver. You know, when we did the show with him earlier this season, he talked about, man, it's all about the team, and that's what you guys want to have on the team. You got Rickler Holmes, outstanding sophomore. I think by the time he leaves Dell City, he's going to be one of the best players in the state.
Yes, sir.
Coming out his senior year, man, the guy already has an offer from Arkansas State.
Yes, sir.
And think about these guys, though, man. They know their role, and it's not like, hey, my role is, hey, to help the team win. It's not about me. It's all about, as you can see, all these guys that sat up here this morning, their role was all about team, not me, team. And that's what makes you win a championship, district championship, state championship, and just winning in life, too, Coach, is that you're teaching these guys that, hey, not only just football, there's life after football.
Yes.
You teach them to become young men, stay off the streets, not gangbang, not be on drugs, go get a good job, be successful, come back to Dell City and let people know who you are. Because that's one thing I have to say to you each year that I've been doing the show with you that you have done a good job in teaching these young men to be men,
Yes, sir.
not boys, but
Absolutely.
men. You know, so
Absolutely.
I'll give you kudos on that. But you know, let's talk about some of the other guys. You know, you got your offensive line. You got a guy that's brother signed with K State. He's getting a lot of looks himself. He's making a name for himself. Is Daryl Thomas? You know,
Yeah.
he moved over to center this year.
Absolutely.
What's his game been like? You know.
Well, you know, that's one of the things that gets left out. Our offensive line, every single guy that's started last year. So we have all 5 guys returning. And just like I said with River, when you have that experience, of playing on Friday nights, going through the week, learning how to prepare, and being in that environment,
Yes, sir.
it's going to help out. You know, so having all returning starters on the offensive line mixed in with the talent that we have, I'm excited. Daryl made the transition to center, and he's handled it very well. He's a big athletic kid. He can move. He's learning how to be tough. You know, he doesn't have the dog mentality that Kanaja has. Every kid's different, but he has worked on developing that. I'm excited to see what he can do. Talking about Braden Adama, he's probably one of the most selfless kids I've ever seen.
Yes, sir.
Last year, you know, he was a slot receiver, and we asked him to play running back. He goes and plays running back and becomes the 3rd best running back in the state. This year, you get Rodney. You already have Aaron, and you have Rickland. Those guys can probably go start.
Don't forget about my man.
Oh, Shaden Green.
Shaden Green.
So you can, those guys, we got 4 running backs that probably can go anywhere in the state and start. And we also moved Shaden Green to slot receiver too. So for those guys to be able to make that transition and not get bitter, not to have their parents call up here, not to put something on Twitter that it's my time, all this stuff. You know, a lot of people speak on social media, but you don't ever see our kids do that. So that's a testament of them buying into C-Dep mentality. And Braylon's one of our captains, a 2-year captain, and I'm excited to see him grow and flourish. And to speak on River, we all know the demographics of Dale City. You know, we're predominantly black,
Yes, sir.
which color shouldn't matter, but you know, we live in a world that it does. So
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to see River come over here and be part of a culture that's predominantly black to show people that Dale City isn't what everybody says. You know, Dale City isn't a place that you have to be scared to come to a game. That
No.
You don't have to be scared to come to school. So I'm excited that River is a part of changing a mindset of not only Dale City, but of the entire Oklahoma City Metroplex. So that's going to be a big deal. So I'm excited to see all these guys come together. I'm excited to see the offensive line finally get rewarded for the work they've been putting in with the quarterbacks, receivers. I know like the skill guys get all the love and get all the attention, but the RO line's been working, and those guys are gelling together. And when you have 5 returning starters, you're destined for success. So I'm excited to see it.
Well, Coach, you know, you talk about that offense, but let's talk about that defense, though.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
like I said, you got 2 outstanding linebackers with Aaron Carter and then Rickland Holmes, like I said, just a sophomore. And then, you know, on the D-line, you got Kelly and Tavian Johnson.
Yeah.
In the secondary, you're fully loaded. I know reading an article about you, you know, you talk about this probably one of the best secondaries that you've coached in a while. You got McAllister, Adama, Hishaw, you know, and Turner. Then you got Fields back there.
Yeah.
You know, I see that you got a great package because McAllister can play safety, he can play linebacker.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that defense. I might have missed some guys, but you might be able to name some of the guys I didn't name.
Absolutely. What the most impressive thing that you're going to see on Fridays is our size. Like you could tell that we were a 6'18" for a couple of years. Our program is kind of like built like a 6'18". You know, when you got 2 defensive ends that are over 6'3" and way over 220, that's a pretty good deal. And then, you know, we play both ways, so we're utilizing some of our offensive linemen at defensive line. You got Biliami Lewis. He is a sleeper. I would tell you right now that he will be one of the better D linemen in the state this year. Not a lot of people know about him. He's Tongan. He's 6'3", 274 pounds. He is the hardest worker on the team right there with River, so I'm excited to see him. And then at the linebacker position, you got speed. You know, you got Aaron Carter, who's 6'3", 205, in between 205, 210, who can run a 4.6. You got Rickland Holmes, who was 5'10", 210, and he ran a 4.5 at the Oklahoma State camp. And then you got Hishaw. You know, he's a young kid, sophomore, but he can run as well. Then in the secondary, I honestly believe we got one of the better cornerback tandems in the state. You got DeMarne Turner coming back from last year.
Yes, sir.
And like we always talk about, experience is going to help. He has really developed his body. He's faster. He's bigger. And then you got a TCU commit at the other corner spot. So I'm excited about that. And then at the safety spot, we got Braden Adama. He's been a 3-year starter. Just like I said with Kanaja last year, he's finally playing against kids his own age. He's always had, when he was a sophomore, playing against kids 2 years older than last year. So I think he's going to really excel himself and show himself as one of the better defensive backs in the state. And then you have a first-year starter with Blake Barker. Blake is one of those kids who, you know, he's had some issues in the past character-wise, but he's really worked on that.
Yes, sir.
He's a 6'3", 190-pound safety. So anytime you get a kid with that size and that height, it's going to be really impressive on the things that he could do. So overall, I think our defense is fast. They're explosive. They understand the scheme. You know, we made a defensive change last year, so this will be their second year kind of understanding the scheme, kind of getting the flow of things. And the most important thing that you guys are going to see on Friday is the overall speed. Speed makes up for so many mistakes. You're going to make mistakes defensively, but when you have speed and athleticism that we have, it makes up for a lot of mistakes. So I'm excited to see Code Red get out there and do what they need to do.
Well, you know, Coach, you know, like I said, this Friday night, you know, you'll take on Choctaw over at their field. They call it Death Valley. It'll be 7:30 kickoff. I think they change all the times because of the weather. But, Coach, I got to ask you, though, I know Choctaw last year, they had a quarterback they had the last few years, and still he's not there no more. So now you got to get ready for two quarterbacks, the Landon young man and then the Cash Williams. Coach, have you got a chance to watch any film on those guys?
Absolutely. You know, Choctaw is very unique in the schemes that they run. They're very different than anybody. They also go for it on fourth down a lot, so that's a unique thing within itself. But they're both very talented. They both are runners. They both can utilize their feet. We're going to try to take advantage of their inexperience and try to see if they can read coverages and mix it up a little bit with them. So I'm excited to go out there and compete against those guys. I know Steele Wasser was a very special talent. He was kind of similar to River as far as experience. So my job as a coach is how can we attack these guys, and I think we can attack their inexperience because no matter what, no matter how you prepare, you can't prepare for those Friday nights. So I'm going to try to attack their inexperience and try to contain them in the running game and make those guys throw it in tight windows. I'm excited to see what we can do against them.
But, Coach, like I said, you open this Friday night against Choctaw, then you're home next week against Booker T, then you're home against Midway City, a team that, you know, everybody know about the Midway City Dell City rival. I think last year was one of the beatdowns that Midway City's got about Dell City in a long, long time. Then you're on the then you're back at home against East Central. Then you get on the road for a little bit. You go to McAllister, a team that, you know, came down to the last, I think, went to overtime.
Yes, sir.
You know, they lost a little bit, but you're still gonna be good, gonna be well coached, and you got Sapoka, up and coming team that's not bad. Then you come back home, 10-13 against Memorial. Then 10-20 you're at Glenpool. Then you're at Coweta, a team that, you know, I think you lost to
overtime as well. Yes,
so then you come back senior night, a night I know it's going to be tough for you because, you know, you've had some of these guys. Like I said, I know you've been at Del C for a few years, but as a head coach, you've been here the last few years. So some of these guys you've got to coach all the way through. So you come back against Durant. So, Coach, like I said, looking at your record, you got a chance to, you know, do some major big things and maybe got a chance to go undefeated. I mean, I know that's something that, you know, we set goals for to win district, but you know, looking at the schedule, you know, I know you want to take one game at a time, but Booker T. Washington, you watched them last week against Jinx. I don't know if you got film on them, but played Jinx in that, you know, half a game, you know, 16-7, so it seems like they've got a little bit better. So I know, like I said, you got Midway City, and people haven't really talked a little bit about the Bombers, but I think the Bombers, you know as well, Coach Hall's going to have them ready to go, always going to have great athletes, a young man that went from receiver to quarterback now. So looking forward to some really good games, man. I mean, Coach, it seems like it's going to be a fun season this year.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be very fun.
But Coach Jones, I know, you know, you lost Coach Madonna, and we haven't talked about that, but, you know, you got a new man you bring in here as the offensive coordinator. Can you tell us a little bit about him before we wrap up the show?
Yeah, it's Kilby McGuire. He's a former Bomber.
Yes,
he played quarterback at Midway City. You know, this is going to be his third year here with us, and I think he's going to bring a different, unique style because he's going to be more of a gunslinger. I think he's going to take a little bit more chances than Coach Madonna just because of the position that he played. When you play quarterback, you're going to look. Your offense is going to resemble that. You know, Coach Madonna was the offensive line. We ran the ball well, and we did things in the pass game. But I think you're going to see different things in the pass game because he played quarterback, and now he has a quarterback that's experienced and a Division I quarterback at that. So I think he's going to be able to spread people out. I think he's going to utilize some tempo things that's going to really utilize our speed and athleticism, especially when teams get tired, and especially in an atmosphere and environment that it will be Friday night with the conditioning. We also have a new defensive coordinator. You know, Carvis Kelly's been here for a while. He's been in my system for a while, but this will be his first year calling the defense. I'm excited to see these two young coaches grow. You know, not only am I developing young men and football players and young men of character, I'm also trying to help develop coaches in the game. So I'm excited to see these two coaches in their first year, their first game, to get out there and be part of that atmosphere, be part of that pressure, and see how they handle this adversity and be able to help them in any way I can.
That's big time.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
Coach, like I said, I mean, I know you're looking toward this Friday night. The season kicks off this Friday night over at Choctaw Field at 7:30. Like I said, one thing I will say real quick, and you being a Middale, 10-10, they're going to have the bond pass. We want to get that bond pass to help the facilities, folks. I mean, so if you're a Middale, you got a young lady or young man in the Middale, please get out and vote for that bond, because not only is it going to help Dale City, but Miller City and Carl Albert is going to help these schools get the things they need to give you a practice field, an indoor practice field, to give you that scoreboard that lights up and, people can see it. And that's what it's all about. We're trying to compete with the teams in Tulsa and in Texas. As you can see, kids from Texas are starting to move to Oklahoma. That just tells you how big Oklahoma football has got. So, and like I said, you get a big-time quarterback, and I don't think Rivers going to be the last QB you have move in. I think that, people see, what he's done here and what, like you said, the culture and all that, it's going to be some good things coming in the years to come.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And speaking on the bond, anytime you have a bond, it helps generations to come. So this bond will not only help the next year Eagles or the year after that, it'll help the next Eagles and Titans and Bombers for the next 30 to 40 years.
Yes,
so
sir.
Get out there and vote October 10th. I think it's going to be some things that are going to really enhance us as a district and take us to the next level.
Well, folks, we appreciate you watching Keep It 100 Coach Jones Show. Like I said, I know this man's busy. He's going to be doing the Oklahoma State football.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing the OSSN coaches show on Wednesday night at Buffalo Wild Wings. So if you want to catch another great show to see this young man do his thing, man, like I said, I'm proud of him. We started this 3 years ago, and we're still rocking and rolling. I think he's became a great speaker. He's helped me with my show. And then with his team, though, like I said, a lot of people don't know about Dale City High School football, but you can click on Keep It 100 Coach Jones Show and watch every episode that we've done and see some of these new young men. Like I said, get a chance to meet River. I mean, like I said, before he came to Dale City, I was a fan favorite of the young man. Just the way he carries himself.
Absolutely.
Just the way, you could tell he has that leadership.
Yeah.
He might be solid, but he's a leader on the field, though. You can just see it, though.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach Jones, before we end this, you got anything you got to say?
Just come out there and support Friday. Regardless of the outcome, we need support. We need you guys to be out there. It's going to be a hostile crowd at Choctaw, so we need our crowd to match their energy. It's going to be a great night of football, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Well, folks, like I said, we'll catch you next time on Keep It 100, the Coach Jones Show. See ya.